How's there freedom of religion if all religions are owned by one race? What's freedom if it's ran by a government who calls itself the racial system? It's named after the master race, even. It's got their little gang signs, their pentagrams, and their Star of Davids all over their Nazi cohorts and shit. Fucking the entire nation, along with what 200 others they occupy, they take the money from the people to go steal land, and they say it's like their homeland in the Middle East, and that's a lie because they enslaved Egypt first. It's just a piece of land they don't own yet. Fucking so they want it. But anyways, why do these losers go around pushing their hatred? They talk about this racial supremacy too, like they're in the streets threatening to kill you and stuff if you don't worship them. Why is that even legal? Except for the fact that it's the master racial system. Fucking full of these fucking parasites and shit. Fucking woman. These fucking losers need their fucking racial supremacist groups disbanded and shit. They don't need more of them. Yeah, fucking, they don't need science and atheism and Satanism. Obviously, they created Satanism 2,000 years ago. Something happened where they had to create science. So for people who are just like, you know what, I'm tired. Obviously, no one's smart enough to even remember that that's all religion is. Why do they always have to create these new ones, too? Like they're fucking cowards trying to hide and shit. Fucking every land. It's not just like every people that they kill and replace, they have to create a new one for, because they kind of stick with the one for the most part, right? For like 2,000 years, they've, ever since something collapsed Rome, Italy, which is obviously that's who the Americans are. You just look at them. They told you that, didn't they? Didn't all your friends tell you that's who they are? Fucking the Italians, the Romans and shit. Obviously, they're the other people because it seems to be, you know, maybe it's that no one else on the earth is that slimy that they would even think of creating a group to go around and like, my invisible friend said I'm the master race. Give me all your money. Give me all the money. Fucking, maybe no one on earth is that slimy but them. To be honest, like I haven't had too much association outside the tribe because apparently the tribe fucking bands together to prevent people from dating outside their race, even if you're not their race, don't like them. That's part of their Bible story there of Esther, how to, you know, the original Nazis actually did the stuff they said the Nazis did, like they literally go around raping other races and stuff. Technically, if you were a superior race, you wouldn't go around raping every other race. You'd find that disgusting. You know, like me being me, I kind of find it weird when like people are just like kind of like so dumb they can't participate in conversations. It's like it's weird to have like groupies and shit. It's like fucking. It's not as bad as though when it's like people trying to fucking force shit on you. You don't want. At least those people aren't talking generally, because when the other ones are talking, they're usually lying. So you know you're gonna have to deal with that. Fucking. But why is that? Why isn't there any other religion on the earth I can find except for ones that seem to be worshiping these people? And if I can't find like proof of that, like the Greeks, I can find that they're people. Obviously, the gods are like cartoon characters they make up generally. You know, of their 24 religions, 12 of them aren't one true gods. 12 of them are a pantheon of God, of one true pantheon of gods. So they have to create a bunch of cartoon characters for those people and shit, like X-Men and Spider-Man and stuff like that. And we we can ignore those, you know. Um, the other ones might be more telling you who they uh, who they look like to worship them, except for, I don't know. It's kind of weird. They have the same caricature for almost all the schools. For like even the Pantheon, like the main one is like the same one. Fucking that part's weird, but except for when they were Egyptians, they created all these people who wear masks on their face, and supposedly, I'm sorry, didn't mean to insult your one true religion. Those aren't masks. They're actually half bird people. They're half dogs. Oh, I forgot. Those are clearly the only true gods, because the other ones can't even transform into dogs and birds. What the hell type of god is that? They can't do that. Maybe that's why when you worship their root shit, that's why you get to the top, you know, because you actually figured it out that the half bird people are the real gods and stuff. And the other people are they're being deceived. So you, of course, work at McDonald's your whole life. And that's that. You're not going to get into Hollywood, apparently, unless you're doing the other stuff. I asked for a lot of stuff before I started playing with those symbols and stuff. And, well, probably not. Actually, probably didn't. But, I definitely didn't get the one thing I asked for here and there. Before that, if I did, they take it away. They always have this little game, like when they have the three people there, and the one's a good guy, and he just happens to be right there and shit. But his two twins are there to kill you and stuff. He's there to save you from them. He doesn't know he's there. He just happens to be there. And yeah, I notice they do that a lot. They give you something, and then bam, they have one of their little cohorts fucking wreck you and shit. Like when one of them tried to kill me, and he went to hell instead. Someone set that up where I got like $1 million in advance, or should I say that I might as well assume that they set that up to steal money from my family and shit. Fucking, because they got my life, which is more valuable than any of their monies or lives. But fucking, I noticed that's a theme with this race as well, is wasting your time as a method of destruction, like raping their way into your life to destroy your life so you can never be with anyone of value. You won't have offspring of value, and you won't have a life worth living, and you'll have trash spies in your life who are not loyal to you. Like, this is a theme I have, and I was always trying to figure out when I was little, like, why would people date people that they're not interested in? And I'd go around people they're not interested in. And at the same time, I was watching my male friends do this to other people. So I guess I was being taught that way. And why would the answer be your race? Fucking thinking women are the cutest, most beautiful thing, could never do anything wrong on the planet. Well, if you got Esther in your life and shit, fucking raping their way into your family to kill you off, then they're going to tell you that they are the greatest people. God has chose them, right? God has chose them. That's what they tell me. This is literally a personality trait. Fucking It's like if the mosquito goes around telling you, God has chose it to fucking sting and suck your blood. I guarantee you, there's probably some nefarious purpose to the mosquito and shit. You can only think of one non-nefarious purpose. But considering we're on this planet of Santa Clausites, and like your first second on Earth is them like performing child rape mutilation rituals for their Nazi cults. Um, their shadow Nazi cults. Fucking. I mean, and that would. You're definitely not the supreme race if you have to hide and shit. Like, I can tell you that much. Like, I would be more likely to respect the group. Fuck. I thought that was the most disgusting thing on the planet was these these visions of Nazis, which are them just probably trying to clear out land they're in, like they're doing right now to USA, like they're doing to Ukraine. Whenever the Nazis are coming out, that looks like they're about to kill those people off, and that they are the leader of those people, right? Elon Musk is, or are they gonna? He's like doing the Nazi slogan. So why are Israelites, the fake Israelites, over there claiming that they are those people? You know, they are the Nazis. And who are the people following them? And especially in this nation, I don't think there's. I met one when I was younger, but he said those key words for certain. Like I said, I think everyone in my life is forced there, and probably for nefarious purposes, because we know a lot are and shit. Especially since 2020, when I said I'm tired of them coming around me, and they didn't stop. I think I said that more like in 2010, and it kept on keeping on. And you just can't keep fucking an obsessed fucking parasite away. Apparently, fucking and their little brains, fucking the story they try to tell me is that they think I'm God, so that's why they're so fucking scared about it. It's just weird because people have always been scared since I'm a toddler and shit. Like they're deceptive parasites hiding something from me that I don't know, and they always drop little things like "you're royalty," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then they don't talk about it and shit. Like they're fucking scared or something. It's like, why even bring it up? I think they always say they have this karmic release thing they got to do, and they're really fucking ignorant and deceptive when they do these things. So that wouldn't even be karmic release to be so deceptive as they are. Definitely. Good thing you believe in karma, because then it'll come back to you, won't it? Fucking. I just figured when Joey died trying to kill me that that's just the way of life. You fight in wars until you die from them. That's what happens. But that was like pretty weird karmic incident. And then 9/11 followed that too. Like that after COVID, like COVID was a pretty weird karmic incident, right? And and then, like, shit, they tried to kill me last year. And it's been going on in the world since then. And what's been going on since 2020, period. Like, they kept coming after me several times and fucking around with me. I don't see any hope that there is anything done of value. Like, I don't see they're still in control of all the parasite medical systems and nations and shit. But I could always try to find something amusing in it, and the things that have been happening since 2020. Fucking probably not, though. Probably isn't anything amusing there. Because it's like, oh shit, this is a job, isn't it? Fucking. It was fun when I was a kid and they tried to enslave me and I didn't know. I was like, yeah, I'm rebelling. Like, I'm gonna fuck these people up and shit. But now it's like, oh, they're bots. They're designed to be trash. And they're designed to be burnt. Fucking. It's not even fun because I'd like to do something other than like wait for trash to burn itself and shit, which is like obviously effective. COVID looked very effective. The frontal cortex virus definitely is effective, but it's like effective at what? Getting my life back? Doing anything I want? Like if trash needs to be burnt, it needs burnt. It doesn't. We don't need to wait 80 fucking million light years for it to happen. You know, we can do something of value in the meantime, as long as trash is not in the way, right? Which is apparently the whole reason these things are going to happen to them, or have been happening to them, huh? Yeah, so like, can we get like our own religion? Can we like invent a religion where we're not worshiping one race who's a bunch of parasites and their minions who apparently are involved in the same parasite shit, fucking even more mindless bots than they are apparently. Like, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Have a religion, of course, like not to not to the new Americans, because you couldn't be a new American if you didn't support fucking Caesar and shit. So, because without Caesar, you can't fucking you can't you can't live on American people land. You can't become the Americans. So I can see that, but like to anyone else in the world, like fucking like wouldn't you want to like not be part of that and shit? I guess I'm not talking to Russia because they worship him too, and because I'm not talking to half of Europe because they worship him too, and probably not talking to most of the Middle East except for Palestine. Supposedly Palestine are the ones who aren't the Muslims and shit. They don't have organized Abrahamic Nazi ideologies, you know, white Middle Easterners, the supreme race ideology and shit. Fucking, I assume maybe that's why they're getting blown up, is because the few people there who live in tents and shit just won't be like, oh, you're the best race in the world. I love you. You're so beautiful. You take all my children's wieners and money and stuff. Yeah, they're less homos over there because I think it's like I think the reason why that is because no one's a homo except for homos, so except for bottom bitches. So you move forward once you create these delusions, and the next people you conquer are your bottom bitches and shit. You know, like so it kind of places them more at the root of the enslavement people, which explains why most people in USA fucking are whites who look like Middle Easterners, right? So, maybe that's why they all claim they're from the Middle East too. Maybe that's how they got here. Is going land to land, killing and raping and enslaving everyone and forcing their racial supremacy religion on everyone in the world. In fact, I don't think anyone's arguing that that's not how it happened. The only argument I really hear other than that is we deserved it. We're the better. We're winning. We won, which is Elon Musk and Trump doing that in the open. They're not ballsy enough to say the rest of that shit, but when they go like that, that's what they're saying at their underground sites. When they talk about no abortions, they mean like no abortions for Christians or any other member of their racial supremacist group. They definitely, when they discuss this thing, they definitely like seem to be missing a key component here. That the people they hate the most probably have a lot of abortions and shit. But in reality, they know the discussion is that people trying to go somewhere and do things are the ones having abortions, and that's their soldiers. they always fall when they recruit, have to recruit outside mercenaries, obviously, because everyone in the world is just waiting for their moment to take them out for what they've been doing to them. So when you hire them and give them guns and tanks and bombs to go fight for you, that turns on you eventually and shit, fucking. And so that's the reason why they talk about that in their religions. You can just go to their websites and see them talk about these ideologies in the open. They 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 ban you if you talk about it on YouTube. But I noticed like YouTube is those people, and I'm assuming they only ban you for the same reason they ban saying their name, because they have to stay hidden. For some reason, being supreme doesn't mean you can be honest about who you are. And, I mean, I guess they're scared they're not, and that without their lies and constant deceptions and obfuscation, that they would probably. They tell me that they tell us that they were slaves in Egypt, so maybe they go back to being slaves in Egypt. I mean, the reality is they're the ones doing all the enslaving on Earth. I don't see other people doing that. So, you know, I don't go around blaming tigers every time I get a little red, swollen, itchy bite on my skin, right? It could be a mosquito, could be a spider, but I don't think it's tigers. So I wouldn't be like, oh, maybe the tiger over there invented a religion. Oh, maybe the tiger is raping the child. Yeah, there's a little bloody naked child laying there on the ground. Maybe the tiger raped the child and left it there and didn't eat it. I don't really think dumbass shit like that. Like Santa Claus and Easter Bunny type mental fucking games these people play. I think that, it's hard to sort out what they do that for. I kind of think that's like a programming in the game, kind of like how in 2020 we all got magically shown what's going on. Like I asked to see what's going on, and then all of a sudden it's just like shutting. Humans are disappearing and stuff, and they're not dying because the hospitals are empty and shit. And it just like turns them off. But at the same time, like I wasn't expecting like several things there. One of those was that everyone put on the Nazi flag, and like I didn't know you could just be like, fucking show me, and make them align in the open, fucking. And I was kind of like changed everything. There's no more happiness while they're still here, fucking. But I guess it's supposed to, right? Because that's the halfway point of the game and shit. So I didn't. You just had that one thing that shows you, like, I don't think these people have thoughts, and they're not, able to act for themselves. And I think that's probably one thing tied in there. Although obviously there's a lot more than that. The fascists took over, and they were always doing that stuff. They just did it in the open this time. They always kind of were. Just it was a little bit more open this time, right? It was a little bit less of this fake karmic relief where they hide it. Of course, they were still hiding it because they called it the coronavirus and not the frontal cortex virus. And they stay with their little parables where the word might mean something else, and no one understands what it means. But they do, because they wrote the thesaurus the dictionary, they wrote the books in order to deceive people. And so I'm thinking maybe that's what the Easter Bunny and Santa stuff for is to like, it's like a COVID mask. Like, who's still wearing their COVID masks? Who put on the COVID mask? People who will never take it off. Fucking, for the most part, but kind of everyone did. And why are they doing that? Well, it's the same thing as religion, too. Those are religious things. So just a bunch of mixture of people they've colonized, belief sets combined together to make them feel welcome and part of the tribe, which they'll never be. And obviously, it's a slave class on the pyramid caste system. But I think at the same time that's one of those hidden things. There's a lot of shit going on involving them that like they wouldn't classify themselves as. You know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't classify themselves as ooh or parasite, would they? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe when they got to choose their name, they looked at their character and they decided to name it. And they're just like, what's the first? I mean, I do that. I look at my cat. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Obsidian. Okay. A beautiful black precious stone. And nice and shiny. And nice and black. And so, obsidian. I guess maybe if you're naming your character, you could look in the mirror and be like, "Ew, it's you, you." I could see that, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of hidden little jokes here in the game. There's like as much jokes, I think, placed in this game as there is actual, far more than there is actual storyline, I think. Storyline's real simple. The amount of jokes implemented in the storyline seem to be outnumbering everything. It's like everywhere you look, almost something's a joke and stuff. Like when we can just pull something out of the heavens real fast. What's one of those heavenly planets' name? Uranus. Yeah, because that's where the space is. It's in Uranus. I mean, it's all over the place. That was just something I thought of right away. Where can we find one of them in space, in the heavens and stuff? And then they named Pluto after a Disney cartoon. Of course, though, people who believe in history will think that was named after some ancient god, or like Hercules or Wolverine or Captain America, one of those ancient gods. But yeah, I don't think it kind of matters if there's 700 gods, and the people who rule the earth run all of them. So I don't think it matters so much as that versus what they're really there for. Obviously, that's a little distraction when they're creating this cartoon Marvel universe of different gods and stuff, and who fucking 99% you'll never see any of them, but you'll give your money to the people that they've chosen to represent them. Jeffrey Epstein, right? Because that's obviously God's favorite person is Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, and Bill Nye. He likes creating people who like creating a bunch of false gods and stuff. Wait a minute, they're not false gods. It depends on which city you live in. See, you can tell you're talking to a mindless person if they say God and they don't tell you which one, because that means they don't know that there's 250 gods on the planet. And they're all ran by the same people, so they're ambassadors of these 250 gods. So you can tell right away, you don't. It depends on which city you're in. You could be blaspheming someone as you bring your God to a different city. In fact, you are. I'm sure of that. It's what they all say. It's what each book says. Other ones are blasphemers. It's because it's all the same thing written over and over, just mixed with the new people they've colonized and raped out of existence for the most part. Which leaves us with a question too: why do they even leave people alive? Are they like not that species? They're like not humans? Are they like bots or something, and they have to like harvest living beings or something? Kind of would think that in their heads it might be differently, but you can tell by interacting with them they're real basic code, soulless. I wouldn't think they have any real emotions. Although I've seen that in other people where my emotions become them. So, although I don't do DNA tests, nor would I trust them, because who runs it? I mean, science is just the 15th Abrahamic, or whoever they are, religion, the 15th Egyptian religion. It's like the fourth Bible and the 15th Egyptian religion. So, we really can't trust that, can we? It seems to me with their patterns, they would have a direct attempt my whole life to prevent me from, like a genius, from going into space to see if it's real, because why else would have they lined up to start trying to kill me when I was younger, other than thinking they know who I am, and my father being like one of their best minions and shit, and probably not wanting that to, get out of hand. If he's not one of them, I don't know who he is really, but if he's not one of them, then their people would want to kill that person off. That's how they work. That's how they stay at the top. Fucking keep down all that good, clean stuff and prevent it from coming up. And that's around the time they started drugging me, was when I was that was actually my first memory. I don't know what all was happening there, but they were doing some fucked up shit when they passed me up 4 grades. All I remember is I was being forced to view that in third-person camera, and it was some shady shit they were up to. I think it was more about actually, like, moving me up 4 grades. It was more about getting me out of the class where an Asian girl was talking to me, I'm pretty sure. Later in life, I did learn that, yeah, there seems to be people here who are forcing me to date them and be around them, and I tested that, and they were right there to get in the way and literally kidnap me, use physical force to remove me and the other person from each other. Those other persons. Not much you can do there. You're in the land of the freaks and homes of the slaves, the 200th nation that these Middle Eastern or whoever they are have colonized. So you don't have any rights. I'm not going to go to the Middle Eastern Ishal system and be like, oh, you Middle Easterners just fucking kidnapped me. What are you doing? Like, put yourselves in jail. Just like all the time that they their special Abrahamic pals tried to kill me. And am I gonna? I mean, like the cops were just openly involved in that one recently. Like, what am I gonna do? Go like, it's time to lock yourself up, guys. Hey guys, you know you're criminal Nazis. It's time to die. Yeah. You know all the crimes you committed against me. Probably would put you in jail for fucking life if you don't get executed. And I do recommend we extradite this case to a fucking courtroom that does fucking include extradition, or does include stuff like that, because it's going to be a waste of time and money to put millions of people in jail for their entire life for fucking hundreds of counts of fucking attempted murder and millions of counts of fucking kidnapping and slavery. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me go to the court and say that. Right to the terrorist. Hey, terrorist, remember when I killed your bitch-ass son, Joey? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to happen the same way. Fucking, it's time for you to get executed. You know who would say something like that? Who does say shit like that? Well, who says the only things to me? People forcing their way into my life. And who is the only people on the planet going around forcing their way into people's lives? It's them and their minions. Personality types. Mosquitoes. Fucking. Who's outside on the corner? If you don't know who forces their way into people's lives, who's outside on the corner fucking threatening to kill you if you don't give them money fucking and worship them? There you go. It's a personality type. No one else on the planet's doing that. Fucking. Yeah, that's fucking amazing, dude. It is cool to watch him fucking get fucked up. Hopefully that's actually happening and shit. Like, kind of like a waste of time, but I think it's happening just like their existence is happening. You know, it's like it can write, it's happening. It can create an AI generated video of cities getting blown up, and then I can go to the city and the city will be like just dust and pieces of buildings or something. But I get the idea for some reason when I go to places like that maybe that city was actually just invented and it didn't waste resources making a video of a city being leveled and shit. Comes from a lot of places, but it's that weird feeling I get that really clues things into what's going on around me. It's that weird feeling I get when I enter some cities, and I think the city's kind of built like a rail-based game pathway. It just seems to be directing me where I should be going next. So, kind of get the idea that actually is happening. I mean, these bots are real good at whining and shit. They be like, oh, this person's dying. My big toe hurts. I got cancer and I'm dying. They're really good at whining. I'm not like, not necessarily thinking they're not honest enough to really like be dying from cancer if they say those words, because it's like, all right, we already know you don't know how to say anything honest, so that's probably a lie. But at the same time, they'll be missing in a couple years, right? And you'll never see them again. And maybe they went back to the Star Trek Enterprise with Marilyn Manho, and they're having a gay sex orgy up there or something. Who knows? Fucking, I kind of get the idea they actually like do die in people's heads and shit, though. Fucking, but you never know. With the Santa Claus people, I could be wrong too. Santa Claus might be coming down and picking them up and taking them on a sleigh ride for all of eternity and shit. They could be right for, which part of what they say could have any truth to it. We're not sure. If something they say is truthful, then it could be anything they say, right? Anything they say. We don't know. Just roll the dice. We should create some of those dungeon dice to roll, like, and whenever someone talks to you, be like, let's roll the dice first and shit. You roll the dice, and what it lands on, like, it will just random let you choose. God will control the dice. Yeah. And then it will choose which one of the words they're saying are the truth, and that will tell you which ones are not, because okay, well, today's they're being honest about Santa Claus. Yeah, you won today, Santa Claus. And then they're talking about the Easter Bunny instead. It's like, I said you're only honest today if you fucking talk about Santa. That's too bad. You lost that one. Hang up. But yeah, wouldn't that be nice if there was like a religion that worshipped a different race, like a different racial supremacy organization? I thought that was kind of cute that there was the BLM, and I had already realized this though, like the Bloods and the Crips and the Folks. I don't know what the Bloods use, but I know the Crips and the Folks use the Khazarian pitchfork, and the Crips use the Star David, and the Folks use the Khazarian pitchfork. So, shit, you don't even have black street gangs that aren't their gangs, that aren't the Italian mafia and shit. I doubt they stole that shit from them. Someone gave that to them, especially the Khazarian pitchfork. Yeah, no one knows what that is, unless those are them, which they're not treated that way by them. They're just because they ran the BLM, they were trying to run the BLM to take it, to make sure that no one else of color could actually run it. That's why they were in all the positions there. But obviously that would be where they enslaved Africans, wouldn't it, when they came from Egypt. That would be their first thing, and then they re-enslaved them here, and brought them back over as slaves from the same place they probably did in the first place. They have everyone in the world worshiping them and claiming they are them, and that's like a fatal mistake to want to say you're those people, because look how many people are dying in wars for them. Now, the only reason black people even have freedom over here is because they needed them in wars. And tell them they're free and make them fight in wars for them. Sure, that's the same thing that happened to the Europeans, too, once they colonized Europe. Was like, well, yeah, we killed your parents and all that, but I'll tell you what, you can have this special religion we created just for you, if and you can live if you go fight wars and help us destroy the rest. The history I was reading of Europe is if those Middle Eastern religions weren't on your side, then you generally lost. So they've obviously had a lot of experience with organized racial supremacy and shit for thousands of years to be able to do all this stuff. Man, they're out here. They're running like every store. Like I think I've shown you guys some of this stuff before, but I can just walk out. I could probably do that much of anywhere, couldn't I? But I can just walk outside in this area, and like you'll see, like everyone who owns. A lot of the ones working, but definitely you can tell the ones owning the store are Elon Musk's dad. Dude over here looks exactly like Elon Musk's dad. And the other weirdo over there has a bug-eyed Rothschild look. And the other one who's causing drama has the usual ratty face look and shit. Um, fucking, and then, of course, we got the clone at one of the other stores. There's about 40 stores across the street from me. So we got the clone, one of the shapeshifters, fucking over there at the Dollar General. Who oddly, like, that's one of the bug-eyed blonde, fucking Rothschild-looking people they cloned. So oddly, after the clone started working over there, the shapeshifter. I should only refer to when I'm talking about summoning people. I'm gonna start using the word replica because those are replicas. But technically, this is a replica too. But I didn't summon it. Fucking, I definitely don't want to see that person. I don't like thinking about all the people who raped their way into my life and shouldn't have been there. There's only like one person, two, who should have been there, and they made sure to separate me from them too. And they did try to come in between me and that person, but I asked for that. Like, so, I just didn't like the other person because they were slimy, just because they looked more like ooh than the Rothschild. The Rothschild at least looked like deformed and funky. Fucking the other people. Not all of them. Some of them look ratty and deformed, funky, like the original Rothschild looked like both. And then, you got Montgomery Burns. Doesn't look as bad as most of the Rothschild, people. Like, who would you rather date, Montgomery Burns or fucking Albert Einstein? Like, the choice is clear. Montgomery Burns is a hottie. Fuck. If that's your choice, right? I'm not sure if everyone else is forced into the same choice as I am, or I'm just a special targeted individual because I'm player one and shit. Fucking, I don't believe that shit, but if we're going to talk about it behind everyone's back and talk to me about it like it's real, then we can talk about it fucking like it's real, fucking to everyone else and see what they think about it, rather than letting these fucking big mouths behind the scene fucking cause a bunch of drama with me and think they're gonna hide in the fucking shadows while they do it. Fucking just drag their ass straight into the light. Fucking, who knows, maybe they're right. Maybe they're gonna get fucked up big time. And no hope there. I haven't smoked enough Bible to really have all the hope everyone has, man. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of drugs, and a lot of people are fried, and it just, I probably smoked more of those pages than anyone, and my mind just isn't fried from anything. It's a shame. It's a damn shame, because I could sit here and pray for that to happen. And I'm sure I have, fucking, and it just doesn't. Fucking, they're busy. The cool thing is while they're busy trying to, people are, like the shadow people you guys worship as your gods, fucking, as the god race, like, they're using their little AI to, like, oh, he's schizo and all this, and it turns out to be like they're set up in the game to do that because it provides me a path in life and shit. To appear as a crazy person and shit, I get a special path in life, fucking, so it's not like I care. Like, I literally have pedophiles, like some non-existent terror bots whose entire existence sometimes revolves around stalking and trying to kill me, calling me crazy. People going around claiming their race of pedophiles is supreme and chosen fucking to be pedophiles. Like God has said, mutilate the children and shit. Really, their book says anything else opposite of it. It's just something where they can pull a word out. Being bots, they can remember things like that, so they just cross-reference in their software a specific counter phrase to whichever it is, words used to manipulate and deceive, fucking, and into getting money and you to go die in wars for them, to enslave other humans for them. Fucking, because who knows the real reason they don't go to war, since they're not humans. You would think they would have, like, be pretty powerful and not have problems. Maybe it's their delusion that there's some sort of karmic retribution for their actions. Like they would be enslaved for all of eternity if there's karma for a race going around the planet, disrupting everyone's lives and setting them up and forcing people to have relationships with other people who they don't want around them or shouldn't be there for any sort of reason, whether they even want them around them or not. If you are a victim who gets married to someone who shouldn't be there and someone else is setting that up, doesn't matter if you like that relationship, you don't, that just means you're ignorant to how fucking valuable your life is. Fucking, and what these other people have been up to for thousands of years. So, and raping their way into your life through deceptive words like love and care, and then having their government fucking approve it, and their religion approve it, their racial supremacy organization approve it. Definitely, yeah. If you tricked them that, whether you think you like it or not, you're still a victim. There are plenty of victims who like being victims too. Like them. As far as I know, they like this Nazi stuff. Even Elon Musk is doing it on TV. He probably masturbates at night thinking of fucking Hitler fucking him in the ass inside Auschwitz or something. I know these people. I couldn't make up shit like this if I haven't seen shit like this come from other people, because it's just not who I am to be like that sick. Like, that's the first argument you get. And when learning about these people, is they're the ones behind all the depravity and shit, fucking, and like, lo and behold, that's the only reason I know. Fucking, there's porno out there of, it's not even porno, it's just naked women beating people and shit in Nazi uniforms, fucking. But to them, that's porn. Like, to them, mutilating children is porn. To them, sex is with dogs and animals and gerbils and shit. Fucking, like, that's mundane to have sex with a female. And plus, look at their females in general. Like, without the plastic surgery and makeup, you got Marilyn Monroe, fucking, who has to bend over and show you her panties to show you anything of value. Fucking, it's a boy, it's a girl, it's Pat, what's that? See, that's one of those things where they make fun of themselves, and it's like that one I can understand, because they're making a lot of money off of that, but since they own all the media, obviously Lauren Michaels of Saturday Night Live is one of them, and but there's a lot of other things, like their name being Ooh. Like, it's like you and ew combined. And it's like, why would you call yourself that? Like, oh, that's stupid. Fucking. But there's a few other things. I mean, the whole world looking fake. We're trying to look at it and totally ignore 2020. How the puppets would just shut the fuck down, and everything else, like being fucking sent to date the fucking family of the world's most famous puppeteer. It's odd too, because they're all the puppeteers, but I think they're bots too. It's just probably their role in the game, right? take, for instance, the story of Pinocchio. It's about the big-nosed liar who lies constantly, and then his nose grows out to here. And it's like, well, you know who that is, don't you? But his creator's name was Geppetto. So, what the hell is he talking about? Well, let's look at who created it. Well, it's supposedly German. Damn it. Actually, I forget who it was, the name exactly, but just because it owns media, I assume. I make the assumption, because it seems to be like I've never seen a human invent a religion, only these aliens have religions. There seems to be certain things that humans don't do, so I kind of write that media off as just them. Supposedly, there was that Black Entertainment Television was Russell Simmons. I don't know his background, though. I can't say he's not even one of them, just because he looks different. Look at Obama. You can't tell Obama's one of them without looking at his mom, except for his first name. So the word Russell we could look up, and the name Simmons. And where does Simmons lead to? Gene Simmons. So you might as well. And Simmons is the name of a corporation that sells musical gear, which are generally scummy child predator corporations. So there we got two links to the name Simmons being not African. So and deeply involved in their scams. So yeah, we should create a religion that like excludes the people who are going around doing all these things and shit. Fucking, and if we did, you know who would be the first person to sign up for it? You ever see who are the first people to sign up from going out with me? Even though I don't even have a sign up form to go protest them. Like, they sign up to go protest themselves, obviously, for shit gets stolen and stuff when they're around and stuff like that. But other things, in a car wreck, and I imagine it being aliens, they probably have something to do with that. But I think I was with two at that point in time, because they had sent one of their girls in to fucking have sex with me, and whoever's creating them is designed to making sure that when it makes them so trashy I don't like invest into it. Like, other than that, I'd be with one of them, right? Because they've sent so many my way. But it makes them lie about like pretty basic shit that you'd actually like get further if you just didn't lie in my life. Like, the girl I did like didn't lie to me and about the things, and I still liked her because she wasn't claiming to be someone she wasn't, and I wasn't expecting greatness from her. Mediocrity. I wasn't expecting mediocrity from her. Fucking, I was just expecting a person. And other people promised they could at least be mediocre. So it's like it purposely makes them lie about shit to make them disposable people that I have no problem with discarding. Therefore, I can't, end up producing some slave children who are just there to be a byproduct of fucking semi-consensual rape. We should be passing laws where if people lie to other people to have sex with them, that's like considered rape, because their whole existence is this borderline fucking thing. Like their racial supremacist organization is called Religions, so it's legal. They go in the streets telling you that their family is going to kill you if you don't worship them. And they say it's their invisible family members who are going to do it. So that should be illegal, but also who owns the government? Well, it's not called the European initial system, or the African initial system, or the Scandinavian initial system, or the Russian initial system, is it? Ever since they were the Italians, they called it not the Italian, because they're telling you who they really are. Italians is a scapegoat term, not explaining where they came from before they went and colonized Rome, and use that as a scapegoat to take over the world. It was 2 empires ago, same people in charge of this empire. So now they got now their shit's falling apart, and they had to roll out Satanism and atheism, and that's probably not a good sign for them, because with atheism, you can't be like, worship God said worship our race, so they have to admit that entirely. The best they do with that is they say they're going to go to heaven, right? They tell the space nerds, you're going to go to heaven, the heaven nerds. I mean, they just change that one word, and it's the same people, isn't it? It's the children of the same people, children of the corn. And they're like, give us all your money and you're going to heaven. But they can't be like, but God said, worship us, right? So that's at least a step in the right direction, I think, is obviously they wouldn't have to invent it if they themselves weren't scared that the people are noticing the old snake. So that one lasted a long time, though, didn't it? It's still out there. They're still about to use the Nazis to bring it in. Fucking, you got the Nazis, the Israeli Nazis on TV doing Sig Heils, and his partners selling the Bible. But wait a minute, I thought Nazis didn't like fucking those people and their fucking racial supremacist manuals. That's weird. It's weird that Middle Eastern people would take on the Nazi moniker if they didn't feel safe doing that. Just like they take on the Egyptian pyramid, and that's their main cult in USA. The New World Order is just the head of the Abrahamic religions, because it's their root religion. It's where they come from. There's only one group of people in the world who are so savage and sick and disgusting, they would create religions telling you to worship them. There's a God race and shit. All the other times they say there's someone else doing it, turns out to be them. So we can only assume. And it always suits their narrative too. Even if, like La Raza's like the Mexican supremacist. Well, whose agenda does that fit? To go have an excuse to kill and colonize Mexico. Well, USA, who's been killing and colonizing Mexico. USA, that's supposedly what La Raza is against and stuff, but supposedly the Germans were against people who look like Hitler, fucking dirty looking rat people, and instead they worshipped them and then got killed for worshiping them. So, and this is a pattern they continually have, like every nation who worships them gets killed by them. You have to discard trash like that. You can't leave loose ends laying around like that. That's not good for business. You can't just go colonize the whole world and expect them all to be your slaves. You have to decimate their populations every now and then if for some reason you leave them alive. It makes no sense to leave them alive unless they're an alien species, probably fucking robots, probably bots, who need living beings to exist. something about them, which is odd because they're little trans people are telling you that too. I noticed that too with the trans people. Some people successfully can shift their looks to look like something else, and that's them leading the charge there. So, and some people think that the way they teleport across the map and shift material goods is because they're shapeshifters and shit, and they might be the only people who can successfully shift into this different sex, like they're showing, to encourage everyone else to do it so they can make everyone else their little sex toys and shit. Also find out that robots would do that, but I suppose it's about extracting the energy and shit from the living life forces on the planet, because they don't have any energy. I've noticed some people don't have emotions unless I give them emotions and shit. And whichever emotions I have is the ones they get. See, that's a little weird thing that is happening. It's very confusing with the creation thing when I see that stuff happening, but it's more in line with these are fucking lifeless bots, and then this provides an answer to why their people would need to continue to enslave the rest of the planet. Now, they have their own excuse that they're an alien race who's enslaving the Earth for a reality TV show. They also have millions of other answers, don't they? The most important thing we can learn from these people is that silence is golden, and they're not worth gold. They're definitely not worth their weight in gold because they don't know how to be silent. And when they're talking, it's turning everything to fucking mush and dust. So what they say should be discarded. Watch them instead and let them be themselves. That's how you learn that they fetishize about Nazis beating them and raping them, and just turn on the TV, they make fart jokes, and they're the richest fucking people in the world, richest comedians in the world and shit. Like, oh, it's not talent. That's not talent. That's not even that's not a producer hiring talent either. They do generally look related. Unless it's like a part of their propaganda or something. It looks like generally looks like people there who don't look like them are most often involved just in propaganda. They're trying to when they need to reduce the populations, what do? They have Russia and USA and Ukraine leaders work together to kill off their citizens in assorted wars and shit. Fucking. So they would have to have certain people in positions like that. Although I do know the ones who keep getting sent my way recently. Since I've learned that you gotta test people and ask who they are, or listen to their words, because they're generally running their mouths. A lot of these memories I have from the past are noticing people's looks and thinking it's weird that this weirdo's fucking involved in this memory and they shouldn't even be there. And that's the clue there, is they shouldn't even be there. Fucking. And then eventually they all look the same, but I noticed more recently they tell me who they are when they come into my life. Some of them, not all of them. Like when I'm going down to Mexico and the first couple people I meet speak English, and they're kind of like there for me, like a chaperone or something. Those first couple people didn't identify, but they looked weird for Mexicans. And then later on, a couple of them identified and shit. And it's like, you didn't have to do that, but maybe that was karmic relief because you just fucking messed with my device somehow and messed with the Uber software itself, probably at the Uber headquarters, and canceled my ride. So maybe they had to brag about that. I'm not too sure. Not too sure of the purpose, but I could have already assumed that everything was being set up, considering it looked like every city I was in was literally being invented and set up for the events I was in, unless they set that up 200 years ago for those purposes and stuff. There's no freedom of religion here. There's no freedom of religion I can see anywhere in the world. I don't know if I tried looking up different religions. Obviously, that one I posted about an African religion was some AI generated stuff they just made up. That was just like made up. So I would suppose that's not really theirs. People might pick that up and use it as theirs now, just like, who gave them the Crips and the Folks. Well, I'm sure they know nothing about the Khazarians, so it's obvious who would have given them the Crips and the Folks and stuff. Yeah, it's not their symbol. The Khazarian symbol is in something they should want to fucking embrace. Anyone should want to embrace in the open. Even Zelensky doesn't brag that that's Khazarian symbol. No one in Ukraine is walking around bragging that. No one on TV is telling you that that's the Khazarian flag, because they are using that sign though, so I guess, maybe it's about the same. The gang members I know though, not all of them were black. Fucking, in fact, I know more white people. They run the world, so they're not all at low level gangs and shit. Fucking, I don't think I know any white people. My bad. I know these other people. And not by choice. I tried to change that. That was some fucked up shit when I met that metalhead. Like, they've been inserting people in my life for a long time. And, shit. I don't know where that metalhead came from. Obviously, suspect it's allowed, but they made sure they contacted me, like, the night I was hanging out with her, and that kind of, fucked me up to come out of the blue and contact me like that and shit. Fucking, obviously, something's up right there. That was the puppet master's fucking sister, so that was literal puppet master, who everyone knows, fucking and yeah, that's definitely set up and shit. A lot of these interactions seem set up. How the fuck do I got some fucking shapeshifter replica fucking thing across the street from me right now, and then the person I used to know who was sent into my life fucking the original appears like a week later, and I don't live near that side of town right now. I haven't even seen that person in 20 years. Fucking, I don't feel safe around them. Fucking, I had to get fucking my body cut open and sewn back together because of that shit. Fucking, it's not like, that's not even what bothers me. I'm not like a little whiny bitch like a human. Fucking, that's not even what being in the ICU dying isn't what bothers me about people lying to me fucking from the day I meet them forth, and being loyal to everyone except for me, and being some crackhead fucking Rothschild looking motherfucker. All those things sound much worse than the Rothschild's yearly attempts to try to kill me and shit. That's just part of being me. It's part of being God, apparently. It's these people trying to kill you. Fucking just what happened. Part of them people my ass. People my fucking ass. They're like on command to do this shit. They just like sitting around on speed dial if they're living beings and shit. I don't think that's what it is. Those people wouldn't like phones as much as I don't. Fucking if that were the case. They think phones are there to fucking have me on fucking speed dial for them to lick their feet and shit, I think. That's what you guys were explaining to me a couple of years ago, wasn't it? About the licking the feet thing. Seems to be a whole progression here. But, they're trying to prevent me from doing things. Like, they destroyed my transmission the second time. They cut the brake lines on top of it. It's just that was needed done, but they had to do it in front of my face for some reason. It took a lot of people in that city to stand by and let that happen. At the church, with their New World Order Egyptian pyramids on it. Fucking... And they drew the fucking New World Order gang signs at the same time. This is fucking stupid having to live like this, though, dude. We need to create like an anti-Abrahamic religion, whatever they are, and obviously they'll be the first ones to sign up for it. So I don't know what to tell you about them being in your lives, but I can tell you just how you gonna keep them away. They're like an alien bot species who has a lot of fucking resources, a lot of bots on their fucking side, apparently. There's a lot of fuckers in this world dedicated to my existence, apparently. Fucking, that's, could be because I'm the only one showing any signs of life. It definitely started before I started running for president to get rid of the problem. So that's not it. Even though that was like, kicking shit into high gear during those years when I started all that. That's when they had to send, that's when they started sending fucking females who at least claimed one thing. I already had them all claim and be liars before, except for the one who didn't lie. But it's a continued pattern that proves their what they're doing and shit, along with their Bible bragging about what they're doing. Their Bible brags that they rape their way into people's lives and shit like that to kill them off. They use women to throw their entire lives in the trash can, and just to get rid of one person, especially when they think that person's going to be a king of a nation or is a king of a nation. But I don't see me being a king of a nation of people who are them anyways, because why would I want to do that? I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember you raping me and fucking up my life. Oh yeah, let me roll over you and fix all the problems you've caused for you. The problems they caused are things they want to happen, so they should let them happen. They cause a little transsex thing where their own people end up becoming the largest victims of it, because that's their personality to want to be with men like that, want to touch little boys That's them creating the religions behind that. No one else is creating those religions that legalized that thousands of years ago. So no one else probably falls a victim to it as much. Someone pointed that out to me too, that they created their little schemes and fall for them and shit. I say go ahead and promote it and shit. Fucking. I would definitely troll Elon Musk about that. Fucking. About why is he so against it? Isn't his son cute when he puts on a dress and he has sex with him and stuff? I'm sure I have once or twice. Fucking. But he's got 13 kids. Fucking, he's obsessed with breeding his soldiers and shit. Well, that's what they do that for. That's why their people are so obsessed with breeding, because it's how they colonize lands and take over people and replace them. The slavery thing, I keep saying, like, I wonder why they keep people alive. And the only thing I can think of is the energy thing, but their looks, too. It's like, you're really going to be shit out of luck if you're stuck with Marilyn Monroe and shit the rest of your life. And so I could easily see that. There's a reason why they separate us, and not just to prevent us from making more people who aren't them, and their numbers dwindling because of that. And warfare tactics, I'm sure it's got a lot to do with, like, they're married to the one girl I like now, and why would you not marry that person? Why would you not want to marry that person, right? Like, I definitely wasn't interested in sticking with the girls that they sent me, their people and shit. Definitely, that was always ew. I almost feel raped, like the first time I had sex, because I was like, what am I doing here? What are we doing? And stuff. Supposedly, the men I know are whores, but the men I know are them, so maybe they're all not fucking there, but that's who they are, is people who go around fucking everyone to conquer for their race and shit, as their Bible fucking pretty much commands. There with that story of Esther shit. Fucking, I know for me, like, I guess if you're like one of them, you don't have to be picky, because you've already, like, you're born with, like, the worst pick, and so you just date anyone. I can't even do that. That shit makes me sick and stuff. Fucking, but they like dogs and stuff. Like, I don't know how that can make anyone not sick and shit. They do that little boy rape ritual and shit. Fucking, even if it was the little girl rape ritual they do in the Middle East, that's still pretty sick people and shit. Fucking, but it's nowhere near as bad as the little boy rape ritual, I'm sure, right? All children look like fucking weird ass mutants. Fucking, but I mean, I guess if you're that sick, it doesn't really matter. Fucking, I'm sure it's got a lot to do with a lot of things. In that case, it's got to do with making the man so he's gay, and so they can have a partner later in life too, without having to pay too much money for it. Probably also part of the reason why they involve diamonds, besides it being a symbol of people they enslave and steal diamonds from. It's probably one of those things where they convince people they need money, because if they don't convince people they need money, then they won't have anything to offer anyone. And that's the only thing they can get to offer anyone, apparently, is money. So controlling everything, printing the money and stuff, gives them that. And if they can convince some dumb bimbo that money is important, then next thing you know, you'll be having someone dating Weinstein. Without brainwashing like that, there wouldn't be people lining up to have sex with Weinstein now, would they? But because of that brainwashing, he's famous for how much sex he gets for money, huh? Just like Howard Stern. If someone didn't brainwash these bimbos that money was important, money is everything, then no one would go on his show and have sex with him, would they? If people didn't brainwash people that fart jokes were intelligent, and I know who's doing that brainwashing, and fucking that I know, they're trying to convince me that shit's intelligent and funny and stuff. Like, so check out Seinfeld, it's so funny. It's like, look, this guy's telling a fart joke. Oh my god, it's so funny. You couldn't convince people that fucking pure ignorance and disgustingness was fucking amusing, then they wouldn't be able to market themselves as fucking comedians. I don't think so. At least Andrew Dice Clay said like poop, said like shit instead of poop. He was doing something new for their people and shit, fucking. But don't say, if you're not their people, you can't do anything. They'd probably be like, oh, we don't like your fart jokes, just because they are trying to keep their people at the top, apparently, any way possible, including raping you and preventing you from doing anything, including drugging you when you're a child to try to fry you, including stopping you anytime you try to do anything in this world. Hell, there people were trying to prevent me from doing art in art class. Old jealous rat bitch. Fucking thankfully, that just led to me. Thankfully, I mean, I'm literally like a fucking rocket science genius. Fucking, I should be the last person not attending school, right? And I should be out of school by now, anyways. But they play games, pass me up 4 grades, and play games with it, trying to hold me back after everyone in the world already agreed that I shouldn't be fucking in school because I already know everything. They're fucking, their race and fucking has been playing a lot of fucking games and shit since I came here and shit. And it'd be funny to think of some inventive ways to get them paid back for that shit. Fucking, that was cute. I got a free pass away from school, but in all reality, you can tell by them in their never changing personalities, except for in 2020. That's weird how I could change people's personality. Like, it's like we swapped fucking video games in the drive, and it's so weird. Everything switched back eventually, but for like a year there, I was like, we just powered off the fucking humans and made them do a bunch of dumb shit just to show that that's possible. Fucking, that was really weird. Even like everyone I knew pretty much who was still around me, maybe they were like a different person, like just gone was the person. Mostly they were more like wickedly hostile, like it's weird, the person involved got all scared when he came to tell me, like he thought I was the one behind that, some of that stuff. But there was some other people who went like ultra hostile and shit, although they looked pretty fucking scared and shit too. Fucking, I think that's pretty odd. I'm just fucking nobody. Why all of a sudden would people be getting all weird and hostile and scared and claiming I'm God and stuff. Fucking weirdos, dude. I'm telling you, these people have been weird from day one and shit. Fucking. And especially the ones who are fucking psycho and hostile. Like, that'd be weird if what they said is true. Fucking. Because. I can point fingers at the fucking organizations behind shit. Fucking. I do. That's part of figuring out how they'll respond and getting to some of this shit. Fucking. I didn't have to. They were shown who they were in 2020 regardless. They were shown who they were all along, but like, for some reason when I said I have to be shown everything, fucking, that had to be done and stuff. And they made it real fucking obvious that they were networked together and fucking doing those things on purpose and shit. So there's this string of history of it was like trying to prevent me from doing anything. So it's like set them in school, because our schools are designed to just, they're not for smart people. It's not, no one got educated going there, and if you already know what's going on, it's a waste of life to be there. It's just like daycare for lazy parents. Pretty much all public school is. And wow, look at that. Look at the school. Look at the nation who invented and pushes out. It's a bunch of people. It's a bunch of Jabba the Hutts who fucking are used to fucking being carried around on their thrones through Egypt and having their slaves wave fans on them and hold an umbrella over their head. Now they need daycare for their children so they can watch TV all day. Not that they should be allowed around children themselves, but they'll be the teachers too, so I'm not too sure about that. I shouldn't insult the teachers, because at least the first one knew, like, set me away from other people with books. Fucking, and then the next ones, I'm pretty sure they're involved in schemes, because that's when I first started getting memories of, like, weird, important things. Fucking telepathy shit and third-person camera angles. And people fucking being against me, being around people I want to be around. Or I might want to be around. I don't know the people. I wasn't allowed around them. The second they started talking to me, and the next day I came to school, they fucking removed me and passed me up for grades, fucking, to take it away from me later. Fucking, when they started playing more games, and then try to drug me. Like, the supposed drugging started probably right after I won awards from the president for writing. Considering their patterns are pretty fucking cut and dry, same thing over and over. It seems to be, things happen. It's like, why did COVID happen? Well, why did they do COVID to me? Why did 9/11 happen? Well, why were they trying to kill me? Fucking, these things tend to fall in line in the story here. Fucking, of what happens to them and shit, and why it happens to them. So, it seems to be the story is these fuckers around here knew their bot brains somehow fucking understood who one person is. They don't understand who they themselves are or anyone around them, nor do they care. And that's weird, because there'll be people who don't know anything about me, who, like, I'm not talking about strangers, but yeah, in 2020, some strangers, like wherever I went, strangers would be there talking to me, walking by, narrating my life and stuff as I'm walking through the story and stuff, fucking. But in reality, they fucking failed, not failed kindergarten pretty much. So, it's weird they would know anything about me if they don't know me at all. Then they don't know anything at all. Fucking. So I guess I'm gonna have to just go with however the game dictates them. If it makes them hostile, then that seems to be their only purpose in the fucking in appearing to exist and shit in the game. Fucking. It's kind of messed up having to fucking live through their shit. Fucking. Because it's like, there they are every step of the way. Fucking being themselves. Fucking. Just fucking like. Dumpster juice. Fucking. Poured out like a fucking. Oil spill and shit. Fucking damn, dude. They're using the AI to fucking say I don't talk this way. Like, it's trying to provoke me as if I haven't fucking slaughtered some of them before and shit with my own hands. Fucking when I'm a baby. I mean, do you realize how stupid you sound? You fucking failed kindergarten. You don't even understand your own words, do you? Fucking. You need some more vaccines. Fucking inject them into your fucking eyes so you can fucking see, in your eardrums so you can fucking hear and shit. Maybe vaccinate that fucking ignorance, that deafness you got, that fucking blindness you got, and mental retardation. I wonder why they're trying to provoke me when they've tried to provoke me before and then people had to kill themselves in order for it to stop because I didn't fall for the provocation, and they still came after me after that. And then their nation got blown the fuck up for that. Fucking. I wonder why they would continue with the provocations. And they're gonna get blamed for that. These videos won't even exist and shit. You get your copies now, because you're probably, those of you who do that, yeah, you'll be the ones who won't exist. Fucking, I'm sure the ones causing problems are the ones who would do that. But again, you're so fucking scared. You come and talk to me in person about these things. And it's like, we don't go on the media talking about it for some reason, do we? We don't go on the media saying we found God, he's fucking plaguing our ass because we're a fucking disease. And you guys are telling me, anyways, fucking, yeah, go ahead and put those videos out there. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fucking put me on the news, be like, he's running for president, it's God. We gotta stop him. You guys should do that. Do a GoFundMe on your TV. You guys make a lot of money with your TV. Be like, this is God. He's running for president. And then we gotta stop him because he's evil. He's evil. That's the new motto of the last year or two, isn't it? I'm evil. So, remember 2020, it was, what's the definition of evil when we were asking what you guys were up to. Now it's changed. The fucking. It sounds like a little baby crying and shit, dude. Like, I don't know, get control of your own fucking mental state and shit. Don't let the fucking robot, the AI controlling you, run your ass into the ground and shit. Fucking. Because hey, maybe hitting the ground ain't as bad as hitting a wall. I don't know. It's called Joey. Let's ask him. Fucking. Oh, that's right. We can't call him anymore. I don't think he can talk because heaven ain't real. Fucking. He's not fucking alive. He's in. Let's call him in one of the different games someone else is playing and ask him. As long as it's within 16 years of the game being played, if the player's been playing the game for more than 16 years, Joey's gone in those versions too. So you have to find out which dimension, which game cartridge he's still in and shit. Fucking. And then you have to travel to those dimensions, aren't you? Fucking. You guys should hear the fucking shit you talk to me about. Fucking. It makes me miss hanging out with and helping mentally retarded people because they made sense and they didn't fucking say stupid shit. And they were fun. That's the biggest thing. That's why we go around them in the first place, because they weren't fucking lame. They weren't stupid. No, I didn't have that problem. The stupid thing, fucking human problem recently, they didn't sit around and lie all the time, talking about fucking Santa Claus and other fucking, I'm no rocket science. Actually, the one said, it was like, I'm a cop, and it's like, well, you can be. I think you qualify for the job. You could pass the IQ entrance exam for sure. All you gotta do is go run around hitting people, scream white power, or fucking Israel's #1. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to say white power, fucking. You gotta say Israel power, fucking. Although white power is acceptable because it allows you to hide amongst a fucking assorted group of people and not classify what you mean and shit. It's like saying I worship God, or using God at any time we're saying prayers is a blanket statement that means absolutely nothing and shit. Fucking. Anyways, yeah. Do you guys think the game even will allow us to invent a new religion against these little devil rats you fucking scumbags worship? Fucking, you guys aren't too concerned with it, are you? And they'd be gone if. Look how many people are worshiping them. Who are they really? Why do they look like fucking deformed mutant trash? Where does that come from exactly? They say they come from the Middle East, but they don't quite look like that. They do kind of, but apparently those people don't want them down there. Fucking. Couldn't blame them. I mean, they're homos. Like, that's the best place to send them. They can get some re-education so they don't mutilate little boys like they do in this nation. Fucking. You guys love that re-education shit. Ain't that what COVID was about? Isn't that you guys like trying to re-educate me and then you got your asses re-educated instead? And yeah, I think that Allah fucking would have the perfect answer to educating people who mutilate fucking and suck little boys' wieners and shit. I've been thinking that for a minute. Like the answers are all plain as day everywhere you look and shit. Fucking for everything. I don't even have to invent shit. I try to sometimes to feel like I'm participating in shit, but I think the answer to these fuckers is they've created their own fucking answer to themselves and shit in an attempt to colonize other people. I wouldn't doubt that's exactly where that comes from, is they tried to fucking create a religion to control some people who aren't bitches, and it backfired on them. That's the only thing that makes sense is they started there and landed their UFO there in the middle of the fucking planet. Probably is a safe place to land when you're fucking scouting out planets and shit. Probably is like a baseline, right? Is this the story and shit? Did they actually do that? Because, I mean, do you really think that space shit's real? It's probably just artwork in the sky. I mean, just because I move the sun and play with the sun doesn't mean that It's not there, right? Right. I mean, I can play with, you know, what about all this material stuff that magically appears on store shelves when I think of it? Fucking, it's still there, isn't it? Fucking, sure sounds like and looks like it's still there. We should definitely create a new religion that's like free of these people. Let's call it the not their religion, not theirs. Fucking that way, it's no one can change what it is and what its meaning is supposed to be, and people be like, "What does that mean? And not theirs?" Be like, "Well, it's not." The people who have the other people already have their 25,000 different religions, and this religion is about everyone except for them. And we're not, they can have all their religion, all their racial supremacy they've used, and leave this one the fuck alone instead of the fuck out of it. I think that'd be a good idea. Like, that's I don't think the game's got that designed in it, does it? A little. I think the aliens think that they're fucking writing a storyline here and some shit, and then there's like literally bots on the planet, and I just had the aliens call themselves out in 2020. I don't see why they would do that to themselves. Exactly, why would they call themselves the ooze as well? You know, things like that don't add up to they're actually fucking in control of their own nuggets. I mean, you'd think with all the hot chicks out here these days that they wouldn't have to worry about having sex with dogs and men. But they still do that. See, there's not much thought. I can make up excuses why he did that 6,000 years ago. Because people didn't look like this 6,000 years ago. But maybe they always look like, you know, one certain way if they were those rich people. And maybe then the famous people we know all look like them because they've been doing this. Our people have to control everything for a long time, and obviously all the places with religion right now, all the previous countries with that empire attitude too would be them, because it's DNA and it's how they act. Other people don't seem as obsessed with it. They tell us other people are obsessed with it, but you can't really see that because the people claim that they were enslaved by everyone else, by every nation they were in. Looks like they were being worshipped there instead. Fucking yeah, let's do that. Let's invent a religion that is specifically about talking about these other people who have been creating religions, and how religions are racial supremacist organizations as they brag, and just keep the one group out who is any of these other fucking religions. You know, they're all those religions. So no Einsteins, no Spielbergs, no none of their people. They already have all their, we call it the first non-ooey religion. It's not ooey, the not ooey religion. Yeah, that's good. People would like that one, right? The not ooey religion, fucking, and the name will describe exactly what it is. It's its only purpose. We don't even have to create anything else. That can just be it. That's the only requirement, is to not be ooey. That's good enough. I love that parable, right? Like, people be like, what does that mean? They'll be obfuscating that in no time. Oh, that means don't be mean to your neighbors who are trying to rape you. Don't, if your neighbors want to have sex with you, don't say no. That's ooey. If your neighbor's dog wants to hump you, you know, dogs need love too. Don't be ooey to it. Give them that. No definition, and that's where it will be fucking next week, won't it? Fucking with these people. Because it's the not ooey religion, so like if you let the ooey people in, they're gonna bring that, because that's what ooey people do. Fucking make commandments that thou shalt hunt dogs and stuff like that. Thou shalt molest the children and mutilate them, unless they're a different race, and then we kill them because they're heretics. Apparently, heretic means people who don't worship one specific race who is supposed to enslave and control the planet, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like that, since religion is racial supremacy and every religion is one race who owns them all? So if you're a heretic, it's quite possible that you've only done one thing, and that's deny that ooey people are gods. We people make up hundreds of religions saying their invisible friends say they're God. They're God's messengers and servants. Yeah, we got to do something about this alien race and enslaving the planet. I know that. And so, let's settle on this for now. The new religion, it's called the Not Ooey religion, and it's designed to combat the fact that all religion is racial supremacy, and there's one ooey people who own and control every religion and don't allow any others on the planet. And so we're going to be the first real actual religion. We're not going to worship any race at all. There's not going to be any mention of this race is fucking God chose this race to enslave you and give all your money to this race over here. I'm not going to have any of that. That'll be the first one of its kind that the creator of isn't dead and hasn't been wiped from history yet. As long as I'm still alive, it'll still be that first religion of that, won't it? I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of others, unless the humans simply either can't think that far or they're just not that disgusting to come up with something like that, to command the world to worship their entire bloodline and family and give them all their money and children's wieners. And I'd like to think that, maybe it's not because the humans are too stupid to read and write and come up with thoughts. I'd like to think that maybe it's because they're just not there's people out there who just aren't that disgusting, and that would best hope would be that it's just a small group, rather large small group, who thinks that those things are acceptable. So let's call it that for now. It's not ooey. Not ooey. Not ooey. Look, all of a sudden it's going to turn to one word, and they're going to smear it together, and it's going to lose all fucking meaning. So, what do they say? What religious sect are you? Which denomination are you? I'm not ooey. Not ooey. You got to make sure you don't say it too fast. It sounds good that way, but ooey people would have their hands on it in no time and change the definition. And it's supposed to identify what it is. in the title, unlike any other religion. Well, I guess the Ui religion it's named after the race, so that is identifying what it is. And Satanism doesn't really define what it is because it's not an adversary. They literally work for the Christians. Atheism doesn't describe what it is because you still have the people who claim they're gods running it. And the people who run the other religions running it. So it's definitely not like an anti-God organization or anti-religion. Science ain't that. That's a bunch of scams and lies for people to go genocide other people with and rape children, continue the child rape tradition. So let's just settle on that. Not Ui. Hopefully I can remember that, so I should write this down. The not U religion. Not Ui. Not Ui. Let's stick with that. Okay, so that's a not Ui religion, and anyone who is not Ui can be part of it. And anyone who tries to bring Ui people along aren't allowed in it. If you have, your kids and your wife, your mother is one of them, don't worry. You already have plenty of religions for yourself. You can stick to that one. You can choose whichever one of those 24 one true religions you want. But not Ui is not for Ui people. It's pretty racist, isn't it? It's almost like I'm saying not Ui people are the best race on the planet, best races on the planet. And it's almost like I'm saying people who create religions saying that they're the best race on the planet aren't accepted into our religion because we're racist against racists. And so if it is, then tough shit. Not Ui. It is. Not Ui now, not Ui tomorrow, not Ui forever. Let's do it. We need to combat these fuckers and what they're up to somehow. And, let's at least try, right? Can anyone else try? I'm trying to figure out. Can I actually generate that stuff too? Still trying to test what I can and can't do. I see enough stuff on TV, but it's like, who owns the TV? It's pretty ooey, so I can't trust them. Another thing about the not ooey thing is, people who can't tell the truth, probably ooey people. So again, like, it's pretty broad brush here of who's allowed in and who's not. So mostly we just got to keep them out so they can't be running their mouths about ignorance and stuff and waste our lives. This is one of their weapons of war, to waste life through passive aggressive means, like raping us, claiming they love us and care for us, and needing to take all of our time to tell us that their twin brother, who they hate, but works for them and gives them all their money to go steal land, fucking in the Christian Holy Land, fucking, it's not ooey, fucking for real. It's not ooey for life. Let's do that. I've been this way the whole time, so I don't know. Hopefully, we can get people together who've had thoughts and haven't been raped by these people. And it's kind of ooey if you let them rape you, and don't want to put anyone down, but if you let them rape you and you're not smart enough to not have a kid with them, that's kind of ooey. Like, everyone. To get in this religion, you got to be able to be smart enough to know where kids from and have some sort of control over yourself there. Fucking, whereas the ooey religions are kind of about allowing them to rape you, getting with the first one you can as fast as you can, and destroying your life and the entire world in the future. Fucking, whereas this one's more about fucking having to have discipline and, you know, not letting the wrong people fucking around you, and not letting the wrong people into your life. I never quite was told that by the ooey people. They word it differently. It feels more like get with the first person who offers you pussy and have a bunch of kids with them and then send them to steal land and stuff. It's just, we're going to have to figure out how we get our own land and stuff so we can have a not ooey nation, because most nations seem pretty ooey. So we'll figure it out, right? We'll be forced to. I've been forced to be here for 400,000 hours already and to fucking learn all this shit. So, you know, maybe there's some hope in this I'm smoking, but I'm thinking that the reason I'm going to be forced to be around another 400,000 hours is because it's actually started to change since 2020. So, yeah, although hope is kind of ooey, so I'm not sure if I want that to be part of the religion, to have hope and replace all intellect with hope. Replace everything you can see with illusions you want to feel. That's what they're telling me. I gotta manifest it. And usually when they're talking about the manifesting, it sounds like they're saying, don't talk about what we're doing to you, or we're going to do it again, as if they ever stopped in the first place. So, as if they only started once I figured out who they were and shit. Fucking. Not ooey is also about not hiding too. So like, if people are like gonna be part of it, don't be hiding you're part of something else like that. You can be whatever you want, except for ooey. And so, I think, right? I'm sure I can classify it as ooey if it's something unwanted, right? It's literally all in one category over here, so I don't think it's too fucking hard and shit. Yeah, so it doesn't take too much. Just, to me, it take common sense. People be like, why do you need a book? Like, they'd be like, what's the purpose of those books? And they'd be like, pointing to this one paragraph, 10 Commandments, and they'd be like, what's the point of that? Isn't that common sense? Like, yeah, well, maybe the point of it is the other 70,000 pages talking about slavery is okay, and mutilating children, penises is okay as long as it's for our race, and our race is the best, etc., etc., etc. And it's telling you the story of how we was slaves. Yet, yeah, I think really the purpose of the rest of the pages there might be about brainwashing you that they're not the same people as the group they worship. They still openly worship. So you're going to have to come up with something there about people who are deceptive and liars. Obviously, there's no Santa Claus. To be not ooey, you can't have Santa Claus. You can't have Easter bunnies or Esther bunnies. You can't rape your way into people's lives to destroy them. Probably just shouldn't be doing that for much of any purpose. Probably shouldn't be dating people unless you have a fucking a real reason. If you just want to have sex with them, you can do that, and that's a reason. Just let people know, and it's only, if you agree, it's not ooey and stuff. But as far as the rest of it, I think, yeah, we could probably incorporate some of that stuff. It doesn't seem very well incorporated. I don't think these things are about that. These people are using these as rape manuals and shit. The biggest thing they seem to be stuck upon is breeding soldiers and mutilating children, genitals. So they talk against mutilating children. They don't, but they support something even worse, mutilating children's genitals. So not ooey it is. Let's do it, and we can make the world's first civilization. People who fucking have thoughts and aren't ooey. Because apparently the civilizations before were all being ran by the same people, having to change their personality type. Their excuse, or their name, they can't change their personality very much, it seems. So let's do that. Let's make it beautiful. I love religion. It's so great, right? I mean, you literally have to have it to prevent ooey people from coming around. And one of those things is respecting people who have like valid beliefs and shit, If the Christians say they don't want to be raped and they want to get married to someone they like, then that's fine. If the Muslims say they take off your shoes before you enter their house, that's fine for them. That's great. But whereas we're in an ooey nation where you have no rights as long as ooey people exist, and I guess maybe I'm not brown, so I don't get the same privileges as other Muslims and stuff. But we're also allowed to incorporate other beliefs, and if other people are pressuring us fucking from these other groups, then I don't know, maybe we'll bend the rule of what ooey is considered slightly. I don't know how to deal with these people and stuff, and their problems, I know there's a lot of problems and they're causing them. And another thing is that we don't go supporting nations that aren't ours. And if we're ever going to do anything like that, we definitely look into it. And we don't just be like, oh, these people said their race is the best on the planet, so we should go protect them and give them all our lives and money. We definitely aren't going to do anything. Of course, this is a ooey thing to begin to say things like that. So let's get it done. We're going to have a not ooey religion in 2025. Something of value from 2025, right? Let's see if we can't do that. And then let's look at the pattern of what's been happening. Oh, ooey people say no. Oh, well, if ooey people are going to get in the way of having a non-ooey belief set, then we will have to deal with problems who get in the way of us being allowed to actually have freedom of religion. And we expect ooey people to see certain things as provocations, like if you lead an anti-pedophile rally, you might get shot at in America. Something like that. because they see that as a threat to their existence, because they probably see that as their DNA as well. Um, so let's do it. Create the first not ooey religion, and let's make sure we keep our eyes open and mind open as to what that can be, why we always have the same looking people in our lives causing problems, and realize that this religion might actually be invented because of those things, and we don't want that, and we don't allow it, and we should try our best not to continue to interact with these things, even though they're the ones forcing their way into our lives. So that might be hard. We'll probably have to create a real government, one not named after ooey people. There's no ooey-ishal system. We'll have to create a name for it that's not referencing racial supremacy. And there we go. It's going to be the world's first not ooey religion. True not ooeyism, and not just propaganda and stuff designed to get rid of people who aren't ooey and stuff. Let's do it. You got to. They've taken over the world. So the not ooey religion will get these people. I guess this happens everywhere they go, they say, right? Except for they control, all the religion, all the nations they advertise to me and shit. So I don't know how they wouldn't be the Spanish if I looked into it. Supposedly they got kicked out of Spain for being ooey, and that's why they needed freedom of religion, because they weren't free to be ooey. Fucking vile, disgusting, creating a whole bunch of racial supremacy shit. Fucking pedophile stuff.